most isolated cities in the world. Traveling is a great way of getting away from the hustle and bustle that your everyday life has, but to go from one active town to other doesn't always change the landscape that many human beings want. In many cases, deciding your own mental and emotional health needs to be alone. In many cases, you need to keep others around you safe and healthy. But that's another day's rant. The world wherein we survive, nature goes with its own way to give us the great and perfect place to be alone. Whether it is on a mountain, in the middle of the forest, or on the coast, somewhere on an island on one of the most beautiful uninhabited beaches, you always have a nice edge where you can be alone. You must schedule a vacation in an isolated city if you want to escape from your hectic routine and surroundings. You can reconnect to natural surroundings and slow down the pace of your life. However, all of us know that it can be difficult to find a destination which is isolated and beautiful. Therefore, we're going to show you in today's Travel Chase journey some of the best places to live. So, stick with us until the end of the video. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Travel Chase. Also, hit the bell icon for more updates. Let's get started. Funafuti Tuvalu. You won't even have heard of that name, we bet you of this. Not many have, don't worry. Funafuti is Tuvalu's capital, a small Pacific island country. Funafuti is essentially an atoll, a coral reef island shaped like a coral surrounding the lagoon. The population of Funafuti is almost 6,000 and is somewhere 20 to 400 meters wide. There is no statement to the beauty of this island nation. It is completely magnificent. However, isolation gives cause for a break. There will be flights to Tuvalu about 2 miles northwest of Fiji, but only through Fiji Air twice weekly. You could either sail from Fiji about 1134 kilometers far from here, and you can be quite isolated by yourself. The fact that Funafuti is a splendid island city surrounded by nothing but the beautiful and stunning Pacific Ocean and palm trees is surprisingly important, and it only has 350 tourists per year. Huachachina, Peru. Huachachina is a magnificent desert oasis in Peru. Essentially more of a village than a city. It is so well known that it was called the American Oasis. This little city on the desert lake was uncovered in southwestern Peru with about 115 inhabitants and is by far among the most isolated places on the planet. In addition to the beauty of it all, one of the main reasons is the history behind the existence of this peaceful little city. According to legend, the lagoon around which this area is built was formed when a young hunter came across a beautiful princess bathing. She quickly left his gaze and transformed the swimming pool into this lagoon. She still lives in the oasis, the rumor says. She's still there. Now tell us you won't want an opportunity to see a siren, a mermaid in the desert, and we won't believe you. St. Ives, Cornwall, United Kingdom. In this part of the globe, England used to be such a small fishing town in Cornwall, a kind of arts centre. The Tate St. Ives Gallery, which is located on the seaside and hosts modern art exhibitions, focuses mainly on British artists. Not only holds an iconic art, but also a festival in September. In Cornwall, England, St. Ives is a seaside city, Cavil Parish and port. The city lies north of Penzance and west of Cameron on the coast of the Celtic Ocean. It used to be commercially fishing dependent. However, the decline in fishing has given a new emphasis on commercial fishing, and the city is now a popular sea resort, with the title Best United Kingdom Seaside Town being awarded both in 2010 and 2011 by the British Travel Awards. But St. Ives also has something for you as you're not one for arts. Don't worry, this town on the edge of the sea with 11,000 people has 4 golden beaches and numerous cottages, shops, and many artist studios. Tulum, Mexico. There is a good chance, a strong possibility that if you go to Mexico, you will end up either in Cancun or in Tijuana. While these are absolutely beautiful and extremely gorgeous places, full of life and excitement, everybody else winds up there as well. You're not very likely to be there alone. A little known resort town is called Quintana Roo, which is called Tulum, about only an hour from Cancun. Very few words can do justice to this place. It's like a whole other world. There are beaches which are unhurried, isolated, and wonderful. This is the sort of town in which you find a hammock just about everywhere you look on the balconies and historic buildings. Holstad, Australia. Holstad is the ideal, perfect, and a beautiful town in the middle of nowhere for you. You should absolutely don't mind the cold. It's not exactly easy to get there. This is a long journey, but not the problem. It's all the rest along the way. You must willingly drive past some of Austria's finest and most scenic spa towns to get to Holstad. You will always look at them. Places like Bad Ischl are not easy without taking a detour for you to drive straight through. When you finally get to Holstedt though, you will find that it is the most picturesque small town in the attractions far beyond its weight class. To begin with, the unspecified scenery is right at the foot of the Dastian Mountains, which is the city itself. Moreover, it's the small fact that this is believed to be Europe's oldest inhabited city. There is architecture out of this world. An unforgettable 360-degree view of the Austrian Alps is provided by a boat tour. Palmerston Island. The small island of Palmerston is located approximately 3,200 kilometers or 2,000 miles northeast of New Zealand. Palmerston is among the most isolated communities in the world, populated by a mere 62 people who are all from the same bloodline. Isolation and simplicity are the things that make life in the island amazing. Shops, banks and markets are not there. Money is often used only when the island is purchased or sold when ships come from outside world with goods. Only one way to just get what you need is through trade between islanders. The islanders rely primarily on seafood and coca on the island. Ships come to supply certain goods several times a year, but the isolated nature of the community means that regular shipments are not accessible. If you like visiting Palmerston, you're greeted with open arms. The islanders love visitors and adopt every traveler. There are no guest houses in the islanders' homes. The trip will be awful, however. The capital island of Rarotonga is approximately 500 kilometers from Palmerston, 310 miles. There are only 2 days on the Pacific. There are few boats heading to the island. Palmerston may be for you if you're really looking for the final trip to the island. That's all about today's video. Subscribe to the Travel Chase if you haven't done yet. Do give a like and we will be back with more videos. Stay tuned.